retirement, we have a viewer question.
Yes.
Here we go. Well, a viewer asked, Jim, our 84-year-old father still lives in his house alone. You'll talk about the importance of good health and well-being. What do you recommend we do to encourage him to be even more healthy?
Well, and this viewer, they've gone through quite an ordeal with Dad. This all started because of course, they watch our program here, and we talk about health and well-being. But what happened is, Dad took a fall, and they took him to the ER, and he had some minor injuries. But they thought, you know, we've got to protect Dad's safety, and so safety's only one piece of the pie for health and well-being. And so just because you get an alert, a safety alert or something like we recommend people do a lot of times when they live alone, that's not the only thing. And so I felt compelled just to share part of this story of what they've gone through, because I know so many of us have been faced or are facing adult age parents that we love and care about. We want to make sure that they're safe. And so what we want to talk about is three important things, three other components to this. And the first one's nutrition. And so many people, and we've mentioned this before, they live alone, Tevis, and they don't feel like preparing a full-blown meal that would have all the nutrition and everything that they should have, and so they start cutting back. And you can get some protein from a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but that's not going to sustain your nutrition forever. And so one of the things we learned during COVID is that there's so many different companies now that send frozen meals that are heart healthy and that have the nutrition that people need each day. And you order them, pay for them, they deliver them to your doorstep, and they're in dry ice. And so, we utilize those through COVID ourselves, because, I'm doing 16-hour days, 7 days a week to protect my residents at Wellington Park. And so those things can really help. And so the next thing, medications and vitamins. And so medications, with this viewer, the ER prescribed a medication to help Dad. Well, they find out later, after we said maybe you need to go and get an overall checkup with his main physician, they discovered that some of the prescription meds were counteracting others, and so they weren't even effective for his heart. And so it helps to do some reevaluation. Vitamins, multivitamins, check with the physician, make sure that over-the-counter medications aren't going to counteract. Vitamin D, I preach about vitamin D all the time because it's free. And I remember when I was in grade school, the hippies, you'd hear a hippie say, "Hey dude, let's go catch some rays." Well, there was a lot of truth to that, and they were a lot smarter than people gave them credit for, for their free loving spirit life. The last thing we want to talk about that I mentioned earlier is exercise. And it's so important for the rest of our lives to exercise, especially as we're reaching that retirement age. And it's not just physical exercise, mental exercise. Some of the healthiest people I have exercise-wise that live at Wellington Park, they read their Bibles every day. And so it's brain food, but books, reading, all of that can help you.
And I just told Jim I started my exercise routine.
Yes.
I'm getting on it. I'm getting early about your retirement.
Yes.
Hey, Jim, thanks for joining us. Well, don't forget, you can get more retirement advice on Jim's other show, Watch Baby Boomers in Action, every weekend on News 9 and News 9 Plus. And for more information, visit news9.com/retirement.